Hey, Shelly from Best Buy's blog. I've been testing out the SWFT Edge electric city bike. Or I should say that I can test it out when my son will give it back to me because he loves this bike. We do already own a few electric bikes too, so the difference between our bikes and this one though is the throttle. With the SWFT Edge, you can use the built-in motor and the pedals to increase your speed, or you can just turn the throttle, pedal twice, and it will take off. A few notable features on this bike are the LCD screen right at the top of the handlebars. It has a 7-speed Shimano drivetrain, as well as disc brakes, a built-in headlight, and it has a lithium battery that charges in about 4.5 hours and will last for about 49 kilometers. So here's a look at the screen, and you can see on there that it's set in miles, but you can set it to kilometers. It gives you an idea of your battery life. The battery life is at the top of the display, and your speed while you're riding. Or you can give yourself a workout by using the drivetrain and switching between the 7 gears. And the throttle is on the right handlebar, and so to use the throttle, you just have to twist it towards you, just like a motorbike throttle. The motor and battery are on the down tube, and there is a lock and key that you can use to enter that compartment if you'd like to, and the charging port is on the bottom of the bike. So this is considered a city bike. It's an electric bike that you can use for commuting if you'd like to. It has 20-inch premium tires that are great for paved roads and trails. And one of the most unique things about this bike is that it has a front fork. So it has suspension. And what suspension will do on an aluminum alloy frame like this one is it will absorb the bumps and the ruts in the road. So when you're riding, if you've ever ridden a bike that had a steel frame, it vibrates. Well, it'll vibrate right up into your arms. But with a bike like this one, and it has a front fork, the fork will absorb the bumps. And that just makes for a smoother ride no matter what you're riding on. The other unique feature about this bike is the design of the frame. So there is a lot of clearance between the front wheel and the down tube. And that is designed so that you can easily take it over rocks or logs. And in our case, we took it over a lot of gates that were trail entrances. So around where I live, they usually block the trails just so that you can't ride a motorbike or you can't drive a car through there. And we just lifted it over the trailheads, and it was very easy to do that thanks to the design of the frame. This bike will reach a max speed of 32 kilometers an hour and really does take off, especially if you're using pedal assist level 5. You can use pedal assist level 1 or 2 and the different gears, and you can give yourself a really good workout with the bike. But with the throttle, or if you're pedaling with level 5, you can hit speeds of 32 kilometers an hour, and it feels really fast when you're on a bike like this. More often than not, though, we chose to use the throttle. So the throttle just will kick in the second that you hit the pedals a few times, and you just turn it and hold. So here I'm trying to record with one hand while using the throttle with the other, which is why it's a little wobbly. But I'm going up hills here. They're very slow inclines, and none of them are overly steep. But for the most part, it really did continue to pick up speed while I was going up the hill, and it didn't really drop that much. As you can see, I'm around 28 now, so this was getting progressively steeper. So the steeper that you go, obviously it's going to slow down a little bit, but it is a nice option to use the throttle if you just don't want to use the pedals and you just like to cruise. I thought the battery life was pretty accurate. The stated battery life is around 49 kilometers or 31 miles, and I thought it was pretty accurate. It definitely will drain faster if you're continuing to go up and down hills, and I imagine it will also drain a lot faster if you're always using the throttle. But I did have half a charge here, and I'd already been riding for 40 minutes, so that just kind of gives you an idea of how far you can go. I like the placement of the LCD on this bike. I think it's nice that it's directly in the center. I was a little concerned about crashing the bike and having it break off or anything because it is quite a large screen, but it does have a back bracket, so it is very securely in place. With a bike like this, you also need good brakes, and this bike has disc brakes, and I found that they were very easy to pull as well as very smooth to stop. They weren't jerky or grippy. Overall, I found that the SWFT Edge electric city bike is a very smooth ride. It's a fun bike to ride, and it's comfortable to ride both on gravel trails and off. Although I wouldn't take it on mountain bike trails just because the fork is a little stiff, it does handle road vibration really well. So that's it for my look at the SWFT Edge electric city bike. You can see my full written review as well as other photos at Best Buy's blog. And I also reviewed the Swift BMX, so take a look for that video. Thanks for watching.